It's not a perfect science, so embrace it. Hi, I'm Holly, and welcome to Hollywood Studios. Make that imperfection part of your art. I say gold leafing, technically it's just metal leafing because I'm not actually using real gold. You can get real gold. It's a lot more expensive. It's not necessary though if you're doing something large like this. The most common brand for gold leaf and silver leaf and all that is Speedball, and it has the Mona Lisa. There's two types of liquids that you use. So there's the size, the adhesive size. This is the sticky. That's what's going to grab the gold leaf. And then there's the sealer, which is what you need to do last to protect your metal leaf from tarnishing over time or, damage or UV rays. So you always want to make sure you seal when you're done, and I'll show you that after this is done. There's also, I think at Michael's, they carry a brand called Craft Smart, which I haven't seen a sealer that they make, but they do make the adhesive. It comes in a bottle like a regular glue bottle, which is awesome because you can actually use the tip if you want to just do little dots and you want to do precision work. It just comes out like regular glue. So that's the glues and the sealers. Now you need the actual metal leaf. So I have gold here. When you start this process, you want to make sure there's no wind. You don't want to do this outside. You don't want to have the air blowing on you because this stuff floats around. It's virtually weightless. I'm just going to show you like each sheet it's that delicate. It's very, very light. And it tears very easily. Oh, I just lost one. But I have a nice stack here that I'm going to apply. What I'm gold leafing today is this beautiful bow and arrow. I'm going to do the whole thing. To apply the adhesive, you're going to need different brushes. You can use a thick brush for the big areas, but for the more delicate, if you want to do more finer detailing, you want to use a small brush. And then you want to use a nice big brush when the gold leaf is down. You want to have a brush to dust it off. Adhesive for gold leaf is really, really sticky. Once you put it down, it's always going to be sticky until you cover it with the blue leaf. Make sure you remember where you put your glue. And because if you don't put the gold leaf on top of it, it'll always be sticky and exposed, and it'll start grabbing dirt instead of gold leaf. Also, whatever brush you use, if you don't wash it off immediately, it's going to ruin the brush because, like I said, it just, it stays sticky forever. So I'm going to take the lid off and just dip my brush in. They also have adhesive pens that you can use. It's just like a magic marker, only the glue comes out of the felt tip. And I'm going to go all over the areas that I want gold. Wherever you put the adhesive, that's where the gold leaf is going to go. So just be careful where you put it. Don't put it in a place where you don't want gold leaf. I'm actually just going to go along and hit up every single one of these metal pieces here of the bow and arrow and go in the direction that it's going. And I'm leaving a space. You'll see why when I take the leaf off. It's going to look really cool. Because it's clear, you can't tell where you put it. If you look at it from a certain angle, you'll see the sheen of where the glue is. So I have to kind of like adjust my head and make sure I didn't miss a spot. I think that's it. If you're not sure, you can always go back over. It's okay to layer it up. The main thing is that you want it to dry. It'll be sticky. It won't be wet, but it'll be sticky. And that's a good sign. So give yourself 5 minutes just to be on the safe side. You can also come back tomorrow and it's still sticky. It'll stay sticky forever. You just don't want to leave it somewhere where dirt can get to it or dust. It will cling to the sticky part. So I'm just using the hair dryer. You don't have to do this, but I'm using the hair dryer to speed things along a little bit just for the sake of time. but I noticed like where I put down some of the glue, it's puddly. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's puddling, which means it's just going to take longer to dry. So I'm just taking my same adhesive brush and spreading it out a little bit. That'll help it dry faster. If you mess up your gold leaf, you can glue more gold leaf on top of gold leaf. The one thing that you can't correct or fix is if you put adhesive in the wrong place. It's hard. You might be able to wash it off with like a Q-tip in a warm soapy water. It will grab gold if it's sticky. So just to keep that in mind when you're working this way. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the adhesive, it's been maybe 5 minutes, plus I used the hair dryer. Little way you can test it is to take your finger and just kind of feel it. It should be sticky, really, really sticky. So it is, and that's a good sign. So I'm going to take my first sheets here. I'm just going to place it down and take my dry brush and tap it and then peel it and then place it down again. You don't want to scrape, you just want to gently press it in, lift it. Even the flyaways, if you missed a spot, you can kind of coax it into the right area. Like I'm just pushing it back in there so it gets on that little spot. And I'm such a thrifty gal that I like to save every little piece and carefully put it somewhere else instead of, because if you let this fly, that didn't stick very good. Hold on, hold everything. Yeah, if you let this fly, it'll just fly away and then can't use it. So I like to kind of keep this. I'm also working on a table flat as opposed to up because the gold leaf, when you work upright, it's going to fall down like that, and you could lose your pieces. At least here, if it flies away, it's on a flat surface where you can grab it again and put it somewhere else. I'm going to grab another sheet. All these sheets also have a piece of wax paper in between, which makes it easier. You can even use that, leave it on, and just kind of like place it down. I'm actually just going to put that whole piece down and tap it. And I didn't put the adhesive all over, so it's gonna skip some areas, and that's fine. I know I can salvage this and place it back there. And do the same thing here. You can actually make one sheet go a long way if you're strategic about it, but if you don't care, just lay the stuff down and keep going. But I am thrifty, so I'm gonna use as little as I can. And like I said, these sheets also come with the leaf kind of somehow adhered to the piece of parchment paper, so it's easier to work with, and that's great if you're working on a wall or a ceiling. You should definitely get those. But I do like this kind, and I'm okay with that. Right here you can see where the brush, where I was using the brush, where the adhesive, made contact and where it didn't, or where my brush didn't go with the adhesive. And I don't need the whole thing filled in because I'm going to put embellishments like the crystals in here, so it's fine. I actually like it a little crackly, just like with it reminds me of the photo transfer. It skips, it has the scratches in it, and I really like that. It's not a perfect science, so embrace it and make it make that imperfection part of your art. Okay, so now that I've got the gold leaf down pretty much everywhere, I'm going to take the same brush that I used to move the gold around and just kind of scuffle away the loose gold. And you can see where I used the brush marks, it did beautifully right here. That's perfect. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Look at these beautiful little shapes. I love that. Now, I've done this video before in my Patreon video. I have a little bit more in depth. If you want to check that out, that's on my Patreon, where I use masking tape to make the lines. But check this out. It looks so fucking good. And I'm just going to take the rest of this and just... Oh, I missed the spot. That's okay. Human art, human error. Okay. Maybe I didn't put glue there. Let's see. Only one way to find out. I did. So if I had left that area and didn't put the gold on it, it would just have been sticky and it might have caught glitter or dust or something, But, if you're not... Oh, I gotta put it up here too. Hell. Missed major areas here. Sorry. My bad. Here we go. Use this. That should do it. Go like that now. Now you can even take the hairdryer. So there she is, perfectly imperfect in every way, but gold is just... So I put that down, that part's done. Now this is the part you can easily forget to do, is put the sealer on, and make sure you pick up the sealer and not the adhesive. So I'm going to take a clean brush, and it doesn't have to be a tiny brush, it can be a nice flat brush. Dip it in my sealer and go over the metal leaf. Now remember, this is metal leaf, not gold, actual gold leaf, or it's just metal. So it will tarnish and it could turn. So it's a good idea to seal it up, especially if this is a piece that you're going to have around for a few years, because you want it to be archival. Anytime I do a commission for a client, I always make sure I seal it, because I don't want it to lose its luster over the years, and I want the integrity of the piece to last as long as, the piece is around. So one thing I should say that I've noticed about sealer is it does, right now it knocked the shine out, and now everybody's like, it will dry and it'll be shiny again. It's just dull because it's wet. And it's like, it's cloudy like glue, but it dries crystal clear. So don't panic if you're like, oh no, it's not quite as gold anymore. It's okay. It just needs time to dry, and be patient. It's better than not having sealer on it at all. Okay. Okay, this looks good. Anything you can put the adhesive on, you can gold leaf. So you can even do your frames for your art this way. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on gold leafing. And hopefully I can bring this into a new stage and show you later on. But yeah, stay tuned to see what happens next in Hollywood Studios.